Guys, look, don't try to be a hero, try to catch a bottom. You need to let the market do its thing.
We're setting a bit of a historic precedent here.
Was it really that event that caused the rally to go up?
The economy is going to start suffering pain.
That's going to be bonkers.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Trades with myself, Kevin Wadsworth, and my friend and business partner, Patrick Karim. Now, we often look at things like the price of gold and the price of Bitcoin in US dollars, but it's very interesting if you actually start pricing things in gold. We've spoken about this before, and looking at Bitcoin priced in gold can give us some really good clues as to what's going on just beneath the surface. So, Patrick, what does Bitcoin and gold tell us right now?
Of course, guys, I'm going to share you some charts. I'm going to show you why if you don't price Bitcoin and gold or any insurance, but in this case, we're gonna talk about Bitcoin. If you don't price in gold, you're gonna miss out on important macro capital flows. Look, Bitcoin doesn't go in a bull market priced in fiat if it's not also in a bull market versus gold. So for Bitcoin to be going up in a bull market, in fiat going up on its own price chart, previously and currently, you need it also to perform the same way price in gold. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the chart. So first thing, whenever you look at a chart, always look at the top left corner, see exactly what you're dealing with. Right now, I have BTC USD, Bitcoin / XAU USD. So that's Bitcoin priced in gold. How many ounces of gold is required to buy one Bitcoin? That's what you'll see here on the price scale. So right now, you need about 26 ounces of gold to buy one Bitcoin. Previously, I think at the peak, it was over 30 there, maybe 38 right here back in the early 2025, where you needed that much amount of ounce of gold to buy Bitcoin, and you'll see you're doing lower highs here. So forget the current price of Bitcoin, what it's doing on its own price chart. Look what it's doing. It's not doing new higher highs versus gold. It's doing lower highs and lower lows. So right now there's lower lows compared to anywhere here. It's lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And right now it's going to challenge for a new lower low, but only once it closes below this dashed line at 25 ounces of gold for one Bitcoin. Because this is the importance, guys. When you have horizontal lines, and that's why they're very important, any horizontal line, if you close below that, it implies that you will be closing lower than a previous swing low, right? Because it's horizontal. The other one, no, that's the lowest it went. That's the lowest it went. Now, if you close below, you're actually doing a new lower low. And combined with lower highs, that is the definition of a downtrend. So this chart, guys, I did it a while back, was identified. I started noticing that there was this arc, this dome actually. And dome, guys, is just like it's resistance. I know I put the doom dome here. That's a little clickbaity, but the idea was as long as you were below that resistance as defined by all these touch points on this arc or dome, that you weren't in a bona fide uptrend. Because you'll notice that when the Bitcoin goes crazy in its own bull market and goes crazy versus gold, see here, I could have put another dome back here in this one. Once it breaks out, that's when you have the greatest gains for Bitcoin, right? Here also, you see there's no dome here. There could have been a dome, but it broke to the upside. That's where you want to be. So eventually, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's probably will happen because Bitcoin does track speculative capital flows like the NASDAQ 3X. So it will eventually break to the upside. But until it does, you don't know how low that's going to go, right? Look here, it went high all the way back down here. So guys, look, don't try to be a hero, try to catch a bottom. You need to let the market do its thing. It's probably maybe Bitcoin here is going to bounce versus gold on the way up here, touch that arc once again, that dome, that resistance, maybe come back down. There's no place here to be anywhere to think of being long Bitcoin. And I'll bring your attention to the bottom chart. You might have seen us do this often there. That red line here is the 36-week moving average, and the bottom pane is a distance from that 36-week moving average. So What that tells you is if the price is exploding, like here it did in this bull run here versus gold, up and above that 36 moving average and able to distance itself. So it's not that you're just going up above the moving average, you're actually exploding away from it. That is very bullish, right? Coiled and tight, exploding upwards. That's when you favor, the numerator in that ratio chart. That's when you favor Bitcoin instead of gold. But when you're going on the way down there, that's the opposite what's happening. So right now you're actually dwindling. You're not able to outpace that 36-month moving average, and now you're actually below it. So it's resistance. Right now you're below that dome, you're below the Ichimoku cloud, you're below that 36 moving average, below. So you should see that as big red flags saying, okay, hold on there. I don't have the weight of evidence to go along this. And I drew this line recently that morphed into existence. So as long as you stay below this descending trend line on the distance from that 36-week moving average, there's no upward move, guys. They could start moving up, but the true greatest gains, there's no breakout, right? It's going to be above that line, right? It's going to be above the dome, right? There's nothing to do until that dome resolves upwards. All that is just sideways move. It's just a huge topping pattern that's been carving out since 2024 all the way to today. You don't know how long it's going to last. And I just wish more people would see this chart and start understanding that for Bitcoin to be in its real bull market, it needs to destroy gold. It needs to outperform gold. It's not doing it so far. And that chart, this ratio chart, is very important, guys, because it's highly correlated, the trend correlated to the Bitcoin price itself. So because Bitcoin is more volatile, moves in greater percentage moves than gold, if I put a correlation coefficient on the Bitcoin with this ratio chart, it will be highly correlated. So that means that if this chart's not going up, then it's highly likely that Bitcoin will not be going up either, because they're highly correlated on a trend perspective. So Bitcoin needs to break out versus gold. It needs to bust that dome, and there's nothing to do until that happens. And hopefully, Kevin, this will help people better understand what situation Bitcoin is in right now.
Okay, Pat, thanks for that. Really enlightening taking a look there at Bitcoin and gold, and it really does show us what's going on underneath the surface there. So if you like that content and you want to see more of it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more of this.